Captain Susan Martinez stared at the holographic display floating above her command station. Dozens of red dots were moving across the solar system, approaching Earth from multiple directions. She had been in command of the Earth Defense Force's main control center for 5 years, but this was the first time she had seen anything like this. "How many ships are we looking at?" she asked, her voice steady despite the tension in the room. Lieutenant John Rogers, her sensor officer, worked quickly at his station. "Over 300 vessels, Captain. They're bigger than anything we've ever built. The smallest one is about the size of our largest carrier." The control center, buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, was silent except for the quiet beeping of computers and communication systems. Everyone knew this was the moment humanity had prepared for during the last 50 years. "Send the alert to all EDF bases," Susan ordered, "and get me Ambassador Collins. He needs to be ready for this." The alien ships had first appeared near Pluto 12 hours ago. They moved in perfect formation, their massive ships breaking into smaller groups as they passed through the outer solar system. Some moved past Jupiter, while others took positions near Saturn and Mars. Peter Collins arrived at the control center 20 minutes later. The ambassador looked calm in his dark blue suit, but Susan noticed how tightly he gripped his tablet computer. "What's our status?" Peter asked, taking position next to Susan's command station. "They're still coming, but they've slowed down." "Linda, what's your assessment?" Susan turned to her military advisor. Linda Harris, a former fighter pilot with 15 years of combat experience, pointed to several clusters of alien ships. "They're taking control of all key positions in our solar system. These movements are military in nature. They're not here for a friendly visit." As if responding to Linda's words, the main communication screen lit up with an incoming transmission. The face that appeared wasn't human. The alien had purple-tinted skin, large eyes with vertical pupils, and what looked like fine scales instead of hair. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in perfect English, "I am High Admiral Zextal of the Galactic Confederation. Your world has been identified as a developing civilization. We have come to oversee your integration into the greater galactic community." Peter stepped forward. "Admiral Zextal, I am Ambassador Peter Collins of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization, but we must object to the military nature of your arrival. Perhaps we could arrange a proper diplomatic meeting to discuss." "Your objection is noted but irrelevant," Zextal interrupted. "Your species is young. You have barely reached your moon. You have no functional faster-than-light travel. The Confederation's protocols are clear in such cases. You will submit to our guidance, or we will be forced to take more direct action." Susan felt her jaw tighten. They had expected first contact might go this way, but the reality was still infuriating. She looked at Linda, who gave a slight nod. "Admiral," Susan spoke up, "I am Captain Susan Martinez of the Earth Defense Force. I must inform you that your fleet's current positions are violating several security protocols. We request that you withdraw to a distance beyond Mars orbit while we conduct diplomatic discussions." The alien admiral's expression changed slightly. Something like amusement crossed his features. "Captain, you seem to misunderstand. We are not requesting permission. The Confederation has encountered many young species like yours. This process will be easier if you cooperate." Peter tried again. "Admiral, surely we can. You have 6 Earth hours to signal your surrender and acceptance of Confederation authority," Zextal stated. "After that, we will begin the integration process with or without your cooperation." The transmission cut off. The control center erupted in activity. Susan turned to her command staff. "Status of our defense grid. All stations report ready," John replied. "The lunar bases are at full alert. The Mars defense platform is armed and tracking multiple targets." Linda moved to the tactical display. "They're positioning ships around Jupiter. Energy readings are unusual. I think they're trying to hide something behind the planet's magnetic field." "Get me Commander Baker on the Resilient," Susan ordered, "and contact all squadron leaders. If they want to play rough, We'll show them why they shouldn't underestimate a young species. Peter looked worried. Captain, are you sure we should take aggressive action? They clearly have us outnumbered. Susan smiled, but there was no humor in it. Ambassador, for 50 years we've been preparing for this moment. Ever since we detected the first alien signals, we knew this day would come. Did you notice how they knew our language? They've been watching us, studying us, thinking we were just another primitive species they could push around. She stood up and addressed the entire control center. But they don't know about the quantum displacement drive. They haven't seen our stealth fleet. They have no idea what humanity is truly capable of. And in about 5 hours and 55 minutes, we're going to give them the surprise of their lives. Linda's console started beeping urgently. Captain, we're detecting power spikes from the ships near Jupiter. They're charging weapons. Right on schedule, Susan said quietly. She opened a channel to all Earth Defense Forces. All units, this is Captain Martins. Battle stations. Initiate Protocol Omega. Let's show the Confederation why you should always do your homework before picking a fight. Around Earth, hidden defense platforms powered up. In secret bases across the solar system, ships that no alien sensor could detect prepared for launch. And in the depths of space, humanity prepared to demonstrate why it should never be underestimated. The next few minutes would change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. Through it all, Susan kept her eyes on the tactical display, watching the red dots of the alien ships move into what they thought were superior positions. She almost felt sorry for them. Almost. All units report ready, John announced. Susan nodded. Send one last message to the Confederation fleet. Tell them, your homework was incomplete. Class is now in session. The pieces were in place. The trap was set, and humanity was about to teach the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. Commander Andrew Baker stood on the bridge of the EDF Resilient, watching the massive alien ships through the main viewport. His ship was Earth's newest battleship, hidden in plain sight behind a small moon of Jupiter. To alien sensors, the Resilient looked like nothing more than a chunk of space rock, thanks to its advanced stealth systems. Status report, Andrew called out to his crew. Quantum displacement drive is at full power. Catherine Moore replied from her engineering station. The chief engineer had helped design the revolutionary system that would soon shock the alien fleet. All systems are green. Lieutenant Eric Powell, weapons officer, spoke next. Targeting systems locked on the Confederation flagship. Shield systems are ready. The bridge of the Resilient was tense but quiet. Every crew member knew their role in what was about to happen. They had trained for this moment countless times, but now it was real. Message from Earth Command. Communications Officer Lisa Grant announced. Captain Martinez says, execute warning shot protocol. Make it count. Andrew smiled. Time to show them what humanity can do. Catherine, start the quantum displacement sequence. Charging QD drive. Catherine's fingers flew over her controls. Remember, everyone, no matter what you feel, don't close your eyes. You'll want to see their faces. The alien fleet still hadn't detected them. On the main screen, they could see the massive Confederation ships moving into attack positions around Jupiter. Their arrogance was about to cost them dearly. QD drive at full power, Catherine reported. Ready on your mark. Andrew took a deep breath. Execute displacement in 3, 2, 1. Mark. The universe seemed to blur for a split second. There was a sensation like falling and rising at the same time. Then suddenly, the Resilient appeared directly behind the alien flagship, less than a kilometer away. Displacement successful, Catherine shouted triumphantly. Perfect positioning. On the main screen, they could see chaos erupting across the alien fleet. Ships were turning frantically, trying to figure out how a massive battleship had appeared from nowhere. Open communications, Andrew ordered. All frequencies. Lisa nodded. Channel open, sir. Confederation vessels. This is Commander Andrew Baker of the Earth Defense Force vessel Resilient. Consider this your first and only warning shot. Your sensors are now detecting capabilities you thought impossible for our young species. The response was immediate. Admiral Zextol's face appeared on the screen, his purple skin now a shade paler. How? How did you achieve this? Our sensors detected no approach. That's correct, Andrew replied calmly, just as they detect no approach from our other ships right now. On cue, 20 more Earth vessels dropped their stealth fields. They had been positioned throughout the Jupiter system, completely invisible to alien technology. The Confederation fleet's formation broke as ships tried to turn and face threats that seemed to appear from every direction. Impossible, Zextol sputtered. Your species has no such technology. Our intelligence. Your intelligence is 50 years outdated. Andrew cut him off. While you watched our public space program, our real advances remained hidden. But please, keep underestimating us. We have more surprises. Catherine's console beeped. Commander, they're trying to scan our quantum displacement drive. Let them try, Andrew smiled. Eric, demonstration package 2. Yes, sir. Eric worked his controls. The Resilience Advanced Shield System activated, but with a twist. Instead of just blocking scans, it reflected them back, overwhelming the alien sensors with their own energy. Several Confederation ships suddenly went dark as their scanning systems overloaded. They had never encountered shields that could turn their own energy against them. By the stars, one of the alien captains broke in on the common frequency. High Admiral, these humans have mastered quantum field manipulation. Their technology, it's beyond our projections. Andrew watched as the alien fleet tried to regroup. Ships from 15 different species, all supposedly superior to humanity, were now scrambling to deal with capabilities they hadn't thought possible. Status of the alien fleet? He asked. They're falling back to defensive positions, Lisa reported. Several ships are powering up their faster-than-light drives. Afraid already, Andrew broadcasted. But we haven't even shown you our weapon systems yet. Perhaps a small demonstration. He nodded to Eric, who pressed a sequence of controls. A single missile launched from the Resilient. It looked small and harmless, barely worth noticing among capital ships. But as the alien fleet watched, the missile split into 1,000 smaller projectiles. Each one could track multiple targets, change course impossibly fast, and carried enough power to disable a cruiser's shields. The projectiles didn't hit anything. They didn't need to. They danced through the alien formation, weaving between ships with precision that showed they could have struck any target at any time. That was less than 1% of one missile's capability, Andrew announced to the increasingly nervous alien fleet. We have thousands more. Still think we need your guidance, Admiral. The alien ships were now actively retreating, pulling back from Jupiter. Some of the smaller vessels had already jumped to faster-than-light speed, fleeing the solar system. Commander, Lisa called out. Message from Captain Martinez. Well done. Stand by for Phase 3. Andrew nodded. Acknowledged. Send to all Earth forces. The warning shot is complete. Prepare for display of power. He looked at his crew, seeing pride in every face. They had just proven that humanity wasn't the primitive species the Confederation thought they were. But this was just the beginning. Catherine, begin charging the QD drive again, he ordered. They haven't seen anything yet. The Resilience quantum drive hummed to life, ready to demonstrate more of humanity's hidden capabilities. Around Jupiter, more Earth ships were dropping their stealth fields, revealing a force that had been invisible until now. The real show was about to begin, and the Galactic Confederation was starting to realize they had made a terrible mistake in underestimating Earth. Daniel Wright stood in the Earth Defense Force's Strategic Command Center, his hands moving quickly over the holographic controls. As Earth's lead military strategist, he had spent years planning for this moment. Now it was time to show the Galactic Confederation why they should have done better research. All squadrons report ready, he announced to Captain Martinez. Operation Shock and Awe is go. Susan Martinez nodded from her command chair. Begin the display. Let's show them everything. Daniel pressed a series of commands. Across the solar system, Earth's carefully planned demonstration began to unfold. Near Mars, Captain Laura Phillips commanded her fleet of stealth vessels as they suddenly appeared in a perfect sphere around the largest group of alien ships. The Earth vessels had been there the whole time, watching and waiting. Stealth systems disengage, Laura reported over the command channel. Initiating shield wall demonstration. Her ships activated their energy shields, but not as separate bubbles. Instead, the shields linked together, creating a massive energy web that trapped the alien vessels inside. It was a technology the Confederation had never seen before. Shields that could combine and work together. Impossible, one of the alien commanders transmitted. Shield technology cannot work that way. Laura smiled as she sent her response. Human shields can. And this is just the beginning. In the asteroid belt, Lieutenant Michelle Thompson led her fighter squadron out of hiding. Her pilots flew ships smaller than any the aliens use, but what these craft could do was about to change everything. Ghost Squadron, show them what we can do, Michelle ordered. 40 fighters shot forward, moving faster than the alien sensors could track. The small Earth ships flew in formations that should have been impossible, making turns that seemed to ignore physics. Their neural interface control systems let the pilots think their moves instead of trying to control them by hand. How are they moving like that? An alien captain demanded. No organic being can survive those forces. We redesigned ourselves to match our technology, Michelle broadcasted back. Human pilots are neural linked to their ships. We are our fighters. To demonstrate, she led her squadron in a series of maneuvers that looked like a dance. Fighters spun and wove between alien vessels, moving in ways that made the Confederation ships look slow and clumsy. Dr. Richard Carter watched from his position at the Lunar Defense Base. As the designer of Earth's shield systems, he had another surprise ready. Initiating Phase 3, he reported. Moon Base Alpha, power up the gravity lance. The moon's surface seemed to ripple as hidden panels opened. A massive weapon emerged, but it wasn't like anything the aliens had seen before. It didn't shoot projectiles or energy beams. Instead, it fired controlled bursts of gravitational force. Target the empty space near the Confederation flagship, Susan ordered. Show them what it can do. The gravity lance fired. Space itself seemed to bend and twist. A small area of vacuum turned into a swirling vortex, demonstrating how Earth could control gravity itself. The alien ships backed away quickly, their sensors going crazy as they tried to understand what they were seeing. In the Mars orbit, Commander Baker's Resilient appeared again, this time bringing friends. 10 more battleships dropped out of quantum displacement, each one larger than the last. They had been hiding in slips of folded space, another technology Earth had kept secret. For a young species, we have so many toys, Baker broadcasted. Would you like to see what else we've been working on? The alien fleet was in chaos now. Ships from different species started arguing over their common channel. The humans have quantum technology. Their shields break known physics. Those fighters move like they're alive. They can control gravity. Admiral Zextel's voice cut through the chatter. All ships maintain formation. They are still a young species. They cannot. He was cut off as Earth showed its next card. Linda Harris, now coordinating from a stealth platform near Venus, activated the solar net. Hundreds of tiny satellites, hidden in the sun's corona, came to life. They created a web of energy across the solar system, marking out Earth's territory. That network can detect and track any ship entering our space, Linda announced to the alien fleet. It can also do this. The satellites pulsed. Every alien ship's faster-than-light drive suddenly went dead. A suppression field. Zextal sounded shocked. But that technology is theoretical. Even the eldest races haven't. Theoretical for you, Daniel Wright cut in. Functional for us. We've had 50 years to prepare, Admiral. 50 years to watch, learn, and improve upon every technology we detected from your ships passing near our system. Captain Martinez took over the broadcast. We saw you coming, Admiral. We saw you long ago. And we got ready. Still think we're too young. Still think we need your guidance. The alien ships were starting to break formation. Several vessels were trying to back away, even without their faster-than-light drives. In the outer system, more Earth ships appeared. They had been hidden in Neptune's storms, beneath the ice of Europa, and in the shadows of Saturn's rings. Each one demonstrated another technology that the Confederation had thought impossible. Phase 3 complete, Daniel reported to Martinez. All demonstrations successful. The Confederation fleet is in disarray. Susan nodded with satisfaction. Send the final message. Daniel opened a channel to all alien ships. Galactic Confederation vessels, you have now seen a small sample of Earth's defensive capabilities. We have not yet shown you our offensive weapons. We would prefer not to do so. You have 1 hour to begin an organized withdrawal from our solar system. After that, we start getting serious. The response was immediate. Alien ships began retreating, trying to get out of range of Earth's demonstrated technologies. The mighty Confederation fleet, which had arrived so confidently, was running from a species they had thought primitive just hours ago. But Earth wasn't done yet. They had one more display planned, something that would ensure the galaxy never underestimated humanity again. All units, Susan Martinez broadcasted, prepare for Phase 4. Let's give them something to really think about on their long ride home. Communications Officer John Martinez sat at his station in Earth's Defense Center, listening to the panic spreading through the alien fleet. His translation software was working overtime to keep up with all the different alien languages being used. Captain Martinez, he called out, trying to hide his smile. You need to hear some of these transmissions. Susan walked over to his station. The aliens weren't even trying to hide their communications anymore. Their confidence had been replaced by fear and confusion. The Hive Queens are demanding immediate withdrawal, John reported. The Centaurian ships are arguing with the Confederation leadership. 3 species are threatening to leave the Confederation entirely over this mistake. Through the main window, they could see Admiral Sandra Cooper's ships moving into position for the final demonstration. Her fleet of 12 ships formed a perfect circle around the retreating alien vessels. Begin Phase 4, Susan ordered. Admiral Cooper, you have control. Sandra's voice came clear over the command channel. Understood, Captain. Time to show them our precision. She turned to her weapons officer. Target practice, just like we planned. The Earth ships activated their weapon systems, but instead of firing destructive shots, they released thousands of tiny drones. Each drone was smaller than a car, but packed with more computing power than most alien ships. Watch this, Sandra broadcasted to the alien fleet. These drones can target any system on your ships with perfect accuracy. Let us demonstrate. The drones moved like a swarm of steel insects. They darted between the alien vessels, each one targeting a specific point. With surgical precision, they fired tiny energy pulses at non-critical systems, communication dishes, sensor arrays, and external cameras. One by one, small systems on the alien ships went dark. Nothing vital was damaged, but the message was clear. Earth could have disabled their entire fleet at any time. Impossible. Admiral Zextal's voice shook with rage and fear. No targeting system can be that precise. Our drones use artificial intelligence, Sandra replied calmly. Each one can think and adapt on its own. Would you like to see what they can do to weapon systems instead of sensors? The alien ships started moving faster, trying to retreat while keeping their weapons pointed in all directions. But it didn't matter which way they turned. The drones were everywhere, demonstrating again and again how easily they could target any part of any ship. In the Defense Center, Linda Harris watched the tactical display with satisfaction. Multiple ships are powering up their emergency jump systems, she reported. They're trying to override our suppression field. Susan nodded. Let them. John, send the message. John opened a channel to all ships. Confederation vessels, we will now begin dropping our FTL suppression field one section at a time. You have 30 minutes to leave the solar system in an orderly fashion. Any ship still present after that time will be considered hostile. The retreat quickly turned into a race. As soon as gaps appeared in the suppression field, alien ships jumped to faster-than-light speed. The mighty invasion fleet was running away as fast as they could. The Hive Queen's ships are gone, John reported, watching the signals disappear. The Centaurians are next. There they go. The Proxima Alliance ships are charging their drives. On the main screen, they could see the Confederation flagships still trying to maintain some kind of order. Admiral Zextal was shouting commands, but few ships were listening anymore. Admiral, Susan called to him, your fleet is leaving. I suggest you join them. Unless you'd like to see more of our technology. The alien admiral's face appeared on screen one last time. His purple skin had turned almost white with anger and fear. This isn't over, humans. The Confederation will not forget this insult. Good, Susan replied. We don't want you to forget. Remember this day. Remember what happened when you thought you could bully a young species. Remember what humans can do when we're underestimated. The Confederation flagship finally turned away. Its massive engines glowed as it prepared for faster-than-light travel. One last gift for the road, Sandra Cooper announced. Her drones moved into a new formation, creating giant words in space using their glowing bodies. The message, written in the common language of the Confederation, was simple. Next time, do your homework. The flagship jumped away, leaving only the smaller ships still scrambling to escape. The organized invasion fleet had been reduced to a panicked mob running from Earth's space. Time to completion, Susan asked. Last ships should be gone in 10 minutes, Linda reported. Some of the slower vessels are still having trouble with their jump drives, probably damage from trying to force them through our suppression field. John looked up from his communication station. Captain, we're getting signals from at least 6 independent alien worlds. They're requesting immediate diplomatic contact, separate from the Confederation. Susan smiled. Earth hadn't just defended itself. It had changed the balance of power in the galaxy. The Confederation's reputation for superiority was broken, and humanity had proven itself a force to be reckoned with. Send them all the same response, she ordered. Earth welcomes peaceful diplomatic contact. Standard approach protocols must be followed. No armed vessels will be permitted within the solar system without prior approval. She looked around at her crew, seeing pride on every face. They had prepared for 50 years, hiding their true strength, waiting for this moment. Now the galaxy knew. Humanity wasn't just another primitive species to be conquered or controlled. All ships report ready for Phase 5, Linda announced. Susan nodded. They had one last surprise prepared, something to ensure the Confederation never forgot this lesson. Begin final phase, she ordered. Let's give them something to think about on their long journey home. The Earth Defense Force's main control room was quiet as Director Gregory Hayes walked in. It had been 6 hours since the last Confederation ship fled the solar system, and now it was time to deal with the aftermath. Status report, he called out to the room. Captain Susan Martinez stood from her command chair. All alien vessels have left our space, sir. The solar net confirms no remaining ships within our defensive perimeter. Excellent. Gregory looked at the main screen, which showed the paths the alien ships had taken in their retreat, and our final message. Being delivered right now, Linda Harris replied from her tactical station. She pressed a button, and a new image appeared on the screen. In the darkness of space, just beyond Pluto's orbit, Earth's stealth fleet was creating the greatest light show the galaxy had ever seen. Hundreds of ships appeared and disappeared, jumping through quantum space in perfect formation. They moved like dancers, their energy trails painting massive patterns visible from light years away. Every surveillance station in this arm of the galaxy will see this, Linda said with pride. We're broadcasting on all Confederation frequencies, making sure they understand exactly what they're looking at. The ships moved faster, their patterns growing more complex. They demonstrated maneuvers that the aliens had claimed were impossible. They showed formation flying that broke every rule in the Confederation's books. John Martinez spoke up from his communications station. Sir, we're receiving thousands of signals from across the galaxy. Everyone's watching our display. Good. Gregory nodded. Lieutenant Amanda Foster, what did you find in their records? Amanda looked up from her intelligence station. She had spent the last few hours analyzing data stolen from the Confederation ships during the conflict. Their original plan was to take control of Earth in under an hour, she reported. They expected no resistance. According to their records, they've done this to 17 other worlds this year alone. Not anymore, Gregory said firmly. Send the data to all our new diplomatic contacts. Let the galaxy see how the mighty Confederation really operates. The room's main door opened, and Ambassador Peter Collins walked in. He looked tired but happy. Director, he announced, I just finished talking with representatives from 23 independent alien worlds. They're all requesting immediate diplomatic relations with Earth. And better yet, 12 Confederation member worlds are asking about switching their allegiance to us. Susan smiled. Amazing what happens when you stand up to a bully. That's not all, Peter continued. The Galactic Conference has sent an emergency message. They're offering Earth immediate membership, not as a junior member, but as a full voting power. Gregory walked to the center of the room. Put me on broadcast, he ordered. All channels, all frequencies. John nodded. You're live, sir. This is Director Gregory Hayes of Earth, he began. To all watching our demonstration, let me be clear. Earth does not seek conflict. We do not want war. What you have seen today was a demonstration of our right and ability to defend ourselves. He paused, letting his words sink in. To those worlds seeking diplomatic contact, we welcome peaceful relations. To those considering leaving the Confederation's control, we offer support and protection. And to the Confederation itself, remember this, we hid our true capabilities for 50 years, watching and preparing. Imagine what we're hiding now. In the space beyond Pluto, Earth's ships began their final display. They created an image visible across light years. Earth's symbol, a bright blue marble wrapped in the double helix of DNA. Humanity's signature written in the stars. Captain Martinez, Gregory turned to Susan. Send the activation signal. Susan nodded and pressed her command key. Across the solar system, hundreds of hidden defense platforms revealed themselves. They formed a network more advanced than anything the Confederation had ever built, a shield that would protect Earth from any future threats. Impressive, Peter whispered. How long have those been there? Longer than the Confederation has been watching us, Gregory replied. We've been preparing for centuries, not decades. Every time they thought they were studying us, we were studying them. Amanda's console beeped. Sir, we're receiving a priority message from the Confederation Council itself. They're apologizing. They're offering us a seat on their high command. Gregory shook his head. Tell them we'll consider their offer after they've made reparations to all the worlds they've bullied. Earth won't be part of any organization that preys on developing civilizations. The room burst into activity as more messages poured in. The galaxy was changing, and Earth was now at the center of that change. Director, Susan called out, what should we tell them about our other hidden technologies? Gregory smiled. Tell them nothing. Let them wonder. Let them think about what else we might have ready. Sometimes, the best defense is letting others imagine what you might do next. The final display ended with Earth's ships vanishing into quantum space, leaving behind a message that would be remembered for generations. Peace through strength. Progress through cooperation. Earth stands ready. In the control room, humanity's defenders watched as their message spread across the stars. They had changed the galaxy today, not through violence, but through preparation and determination. Send word to all Earth forces, Gregory ordered. Operation First Contact is complete, but stay alert. This is just the beginning. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not as servants or subjects, but as equals, and they had done it without firing a single shot in anger. As the last signals came in from across space, Susan Martinez looked at her crew. Well done, everyone. Let's get ready for what comes next. Something tells me we're going to be very busy. The stars seemed brighter that day, as if they too recognized that a new power had risen. Humanity had passed its first galactic test, and the universe would never underestimate Earth again.